mortgage rates, they've dropped over the last few weeks, and they are now below 6%. That's some good news for buyers in the D.C. region who've been out on the fence about making a purchase. We've got Burr here, Senior Vice President at Sotheby's International, to break down where things stand right now, because we've been on an up and down, and we're not even in May yet, and we know that the spring market goes bonanzas around these parts, but where are we?
So if I were asked what is the best 60-day period of the year to sell real estate, it's essentially from April 1st to the end of May, and we are right in the middle of that right now. And judging by the activity levels, the market is responding this year.
Yeah, things are moving, although properties are also staying on the market for very long. But it's really tied to the appetite from the buyers, especially because they want to see those mortgage rates that are so tied intrinsically into our mind from the pandemic, which will probably not get back to those 3%. But we had seen a steady decline from the 7s into the 6s, and then the war with Iran happened. That also seemed to startle some people. Where are we now with the mortgage rates?
So we're right under 6. I saw a 5 and 7/8 yesterday afternoon, and that's coming back to where it was before the Iranian war broke out. And it's so important for us to keep our momentum going by bringing that rate down more and more. And I think if we can reach a verifiable peace with them, the road is wide open for lower rates. And I think that the new Fed chairman is going to set a new environment, and I think it's going to show in the 10-year Treasury, which really affects the 30-year Treasury, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate.
Yeah, that could happen with the Fed chair next month with the change there, and we'll see what, in fact, they do decide to change, because the Fed has been very reluctant to lower interest rates across the board, and obviously that kind of ties into mortgage rates as well. But you bring up the war in Iran. We talk about sale prices here in the DMV. Where are we now as far as have we hit a ceiling of prices? Are we inflated, or have kind of, because of the higher rates, are prices steady?
Well, I just read this morning that for our region, we've reached the highest median sales price ever. So it's hard to believe. It's $475.
Wow.
And so even though right close to Washington, D.C., prices are higher than that, when you take the entire region as a whole, it's at its highest level. And really over 75 years, the median sales price of real estate has only been down 8 years. So it's a very good investment unless you happen to have bought right before the '08 meltdown. But even those people have made money in the last 5 years. So the most important thing for people to understand, for sellers, is to hurry up and get their properties on the market while the demand is still strong from buyers. People love to buy in springtime because their school situation is set for their children for the next school year, and also they just paid or got tax refunds back. So that question mark in their lives financially has been settled. And so they go out with great weather and properties looking beautiful with their landscaping, and they really want to purchase.
Okay, so the time is ripe right now. What's your outlook for the summer market? Do you think that the spring market may extend a little bit?
So it hasn't really worked that way over the last couple of years in the high interest rate environment. I'm hopeful if the rates go down, the Iranian situation passes, I think that we've got some legs for the rest of the year, but it's all going to be a function of the interest rates.
Oh, man, it's always a wait and see here, and it's up and down and up and down. We'll be watching, but good news there on those mortgage rates dipping just below 6%. Corey, good to have you in with us here on the DMV Zone.
Thank you, Marina.
We'll be right back.